Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Valencia from RotoGrinders.com with a video demo of the FanDuel browser extension that we offer for free through RotoGrinders. So first of all, for any new users, to install this extension, go under one of the sport menus on RotoGrinders, click on More Research Tools, find the browser extensions icon, and then go down to the RotoGrinders FanDuel Tools link. You click on that, it will send you to the Chrome Web Store where you can add it to Chrome. Note that this extension is only available through Google Chrome. Let's start in the lobby with the different features. So we offer the margin and the overlay for each contest here that you can see. This is a bar graph representation of the margin. So the margin is the site fee that FanDuel collects for running each contest, displayed as a percentage of entry fees. And the overlay is the difference between the buy-ins and the prize pool amount guaranteed by FanDuel for each contest. So you see these overlay numbers will update and change as new entries come into a contest. Now the other thing you can see is additional details by clicking on a contest in the lobby. The contest details pop-up window will appear. You'll see the margin again here. You'll also get the first place percentage. So that's the percentage of the prize pool that's going to the first place winner. The percentage of the field that gets paid in this contest. And if you click on the prizes tab here, you'll also see the min cash amount and the top 10 percentage of the prize pool. So the percentage of the prize pool going to the top 10 finishers in this contest is 34.67%. The min cash amount is 2.0x because you're getting $14 back for the minimum cash, and this is a $7 contest. It works for all these different contests here, so you'll see the same thing if we pop this one open. First place percentage, the percentage of the field that gets paid. Click over on prizes once again. There's the min cash and the top 10 numbers. Another thing you can do in the lobby is when you go to enter a contest, if you're a premium subscriber, you'll get premium content here that shows you projected ownership, projected fantasy points, the floor ceiling numbers, and the consensus value rankings from the experts. There are also sport-specific options. So in NBA, the first thing we added is team schedule. That's what's currently set. You'll notice over here, it's the second game in 3 nights for Anthony Davis. Russell Westbrook is on a back-to-back. It's also the third game in 4 nights for the Thunder. So you can change these settings, and the numbers will update over here. This subscription works for premium subscribers in NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, and PGA. There's a separate video you can search for that will show you how to log in and get premium access, but basically, there's an extensions icon over here to the right of the address bar that allows you to sign in with your RotoGrinders credentials, and once you hit the sign in button there, if you're a premium subscriber, then you'll have access to this premium content. Now this premium content is also available on the upcoming lineups page when you go to edit a lineup. So if we show a golf entry here and click on edit, you'll notice the same menu pops up. Note that we have Vegas odds for golfers. The odds will show up over here. We also have the same options I just discussed. So that will work when you edit lineups or when you build new lineups. The other features to talk about on the upcoming lineups page, we'll start with the player exposure options. We've added a new option called total dollar amount. We also have percentage of total entries, percentage of unique lineups, and the percentage of total dollars. So if you click one of these on, the other 3 will be off. The player exposure option is pretty straightforward. Percentage of total entries that you own a player. So we have Tommy Fleetwood on 1 lineup out of 3. So his exposure is 33%. If we switch over to percentage of unique lineups, he goes to 50%. Dustin Johnson is at 50%. Percentage of total dollars, it's back to 33% in this case, whereas Dustin Johnson is on $10 out of 15, so he's 67%. Or you can click on the total dollar amount, and then in green it will show you $15 for Luke List, because he's on every lineup, Daniel Berger the same, Dustin Johnson on 10, Tommy Fleetwood on 5. There's a separate slates option, so if you were playing different contests like a shortened MLB slate, a shortened NBA slate versus a main slate, and you had multiple contests running at the same time, or I guess different upcoming slates, you can click on this to toggle the setting. So you can lump all slates together, or you can separate the slates back out. You also have the ability to name your lineups. This can help you searching for specific lineups if you're building a lot of lineups. So if we called this one Cash and this one GPP, we could find them by searching for those names here. Once you click out of the name-filled box, the name will be saved for you automatically. If you want to delete all your lineup names, you can hit the Clear Lineup Names button. That will make those go away. Each lineup also has a toggle option to include it or exclude it from the player exposure calculation. So if you turned this one off, it'll now say excluded. Notice the exposure numbers below them went away, but we still have $5 of exposure in the other contests to those players. So if we brought this one back and we swapped it, the opposite would happen. The exposure went away here. Exposure is still calculated for those players. If we switched over to percent of total entries, now it'll say Dustin Johnson is 100% instead of 67 because it is not calculating this top lineup. So if we pull that back in, that number will go back down. So you can turn any lineup on or off, which is pretty cool. These numbers for player exposure options, you also have that ability for your live lineups. The menu will look the same for live lineups if you're on the live page. You do not have the ability, however, to name your lineups. And note that you will have an additional button on the live lineups page called Refresh Exposure, because in live scoring, FanDuel refreshes the page as live scoring updates. So when those updates happen, it clears out the exposure numbers. So you need to hit the Refresh Exposure button in order to bring them back as you're looking at your player exposure throughout the slate for your live contest. The last feature to talk about here is for live contest or contests that have already completed, and that's the salary cap space remaining. So I'm going to look at a completed contest. Notice here we have the cap space. So in this particular lineup, $200 cap space remaining. Over here for this opponent, $200 of cap space remaining. You could click on a different contest, or different user, and find the cap space for this user was $0. Note that you might have to refresh the page once for each contest in order for the cap space to appear for an opponent here. But it's really handy to use this feature in live contests if you're looking at late swap possibilities. So if Russell Westbrook and Kyle Lowry, if their games hadn't started yet and these slots were available, my cap space would be much higher because it would be the cap space here for Russell Westbrook. So if he were missing, my cap space remaining would be $12,500. And you could look at your opponent's lineup and see how much cap space they had remaining for the players that hadn't started their game yet. So these are all the different features. You also have the ability to turn them on or off if you wish by going to Chrome://extensions, find the RotoGrinders FanDuel Tools extension that you have installed, and click on the Options button. And that'll bring up the different options that you can turn on or off at any time. So if you don't want to see the overlay as a dollar amount, you could uncheck it, save it, go back into the lobby, and now the dollar amount's gone. You just see the percentage and the margin. So that's it for the features. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thanks for watching.